The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the People's Platform.
Aloha and welcome to the first annual Big Island Book Fest. We're here in sunny Keauhou, Hawaii, and this is a community gathering that highlights the literary talent on the Big Island. We have about 20 authors here visiting today from all over the island. Some even flew over from Oahu to join us for this first annual Book Fest. So you might be able to run into your favorite author here, get some autographs, and talk story, which is really what the community is all about. So I hope you enjoy and have a great day.
Aloha, I'm Brenda McConnell. I'm one of the owners here at Kona Stories Bookstore, and we're in the Keauhou Shopping Center on the west side of the island. We're here today supporting and sponsoring the first annual Book Fest, which is put on by the Hawaii Writers Alliance. So we're super excited that all these authors can be here today. Many of them we've met before, and some of them are brand new to us. So we're just excited and want to celebrate all the work that goes into publishing your first novel or maybe your fifth novel. It's a lot of work. And so today, all these authors are here promoting their work, talking story with all the customers that are coming through to talk about their publishing experience and the work that they've put into their book.
My name is Dawn Gambone. I was actually born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I moved to Hawaii in 1991. And after about a year, I decided to go back to college. And in one of my courses, Children's Lit, my project was to write a story. And this, Spike the Halloween Puppy, was the product of that project. It only took me 30 years to get the courage to publish it. But it's a story about 4 of my pets that I had at the time.
Hi, I'm Donna Barr. I'm really excited to be here at the Book Fest because I get to share my book, My View from the House by the Sea. And the subtitle is A Life Transformed by Samoa and the Peace Corps. So that tells you a little bit about what my book is sharing, and that's really what I'm trying to do, is share my story. When I went to Samoa, I was 57, I was retired, and so I was trying to learn a new culture at the same time that I was trying to adjust to a retired life. But it was a challenging adventure that I absolutely loved. I became part of a Samoan family. I go back often, and my book is just to share my story and tell about my continuing journey. Mahalo.
Aloha, I am Laura Reed, and I'm so excited to be here today at the first ever Big Island Book Fest. Now, I'm a new author, but I'm not a new writer. This has been a dream of mine to publish a book since I was 5, and my mom first typed out my story on her typewriter. It has been quite a journey, and so it's amazing to share this day with so many other authors. I was actually a speaker today here and just got finished. And it's been a really great crowd. It was so exciting to be able to share my journey of becoming an author and also inspire others to find their voice, make their dreams come true, and get out there and publish their book.
Aloha, my name is Miriam Maliha, and I am an artist and an author. I have recently created books, and before I mention what these books are, I would like to tell you a little short story about my background. I was living in a different country where the culture and the language was completely different. When I came to America, I was illiterate. And it took years for me to learn to read and write, but I was able to accomplish that. I have recently put out books. One is called The Tikis and the Manahunis Save Hawaii. The characters in the books are all named after Hawaiian trees. The other book that I have just created is The White Kite Delight. For children who love to fly kites, this is a wonderful story that allows a child to feel strong and brave and not hide. And with help of friends, he was accomplished to be able to fly out into the sky and explore the world. So I hope you will be interested and hope to see you at some point. And mahalo.
Aloha. My name is Stephen Sarsfield. I'm here with the Hawaii Writers Alliance to promote my book, The Third Part. It's a book that was written because I felt there was a need to have spiritual understandings written in a way that was available for the common man. I've had a long life of mistakes, and I've learned a lot from those mistakes. I offer this book for anyone who would like to improve their life and see beauty in every moment. Mahalo.
Hello, my name is Ken Obensky. I'm a local author. Many of you know me from my column in the newspaper, and I've also written a book that's kind of in the same vein as my column. The original title is The War on the Poor, but as I wrote it, I realized there was more to it, and that's why there's a subtitle, How Greed and Prejudice Diminish the Wealth of Nations. The war on the poor is as old as biology, really. There are predatory animals. There are animals that live in a way that they depend on another animal or a plant to live on. Humans do this too. For most of humanity, a small class of rulers pretty much exploited everybody else. Through most of history, the majority of the people were slaves or vassals in that they were under the control or the ownership of someone like a king or a duke. And over the years, we've improved this. This book goes into a lot of individual details about specific cases that we don't normally think about, of how the rich inadvertently exploit those who are less wealthy. My favorite story is about Henry Ford, who was scorned in his later years, but he changed the world. In 1914, he doubled the wages at Ford Motor Company, across the board. And why did he do that? He didn't want people to quit. But what happened to Henry because he doubled the wages? He became the richest man in America, because he discovered that if the workers could buy the cars, they'd make more cars and he'd make more money. And there are other stories like that, about 80 of them in this book, about how either exploitation made people poorer or a little bit of generosity made other people well off. Another one I like in there is about Isaac Singer. Everybody associates Singer with sewing machines. Isaac Singer did not invent the sewing machine. What he invented was the installment plan. There were thousands and thousands of poor women in America working for about $1 a week as needle women. They did the stitching after a seamstress or a tailor had put something together. He would sell them a sewing machine and say, pay me $1 a week for a year. So he would get $50 for the machine that cost him about $20. But they could earn $40 a week instead of $1 a week. So they went from being destitute to being middle class. Anyhow, there are a lot of stories like that. Some are very uplifting. Some show you that, or others have basically parasitized their neighbors for the sake of being a little bit ahead. I think that's enough for now. Thank you.
Aloha, my name is Angela Leslie. I've been on the Big Island for 30 years. And the way I got started in writing, probably from all my reading. I've just read voraciously my entire life, and I always felt I had a book in me, and I thought I would write one of these days. And so in 2016, I walked the Camino de Santiago. I walked 500 miles across Spain. And when I was through with it, the last day, I said, I think I'm going to write a book about this. And a friend I was walking with at the time, who is an English professor, said, oh, you should do that. I'll help you. So I'm like, okay, well, that sounds like a perfect setup. So my first book was born, The Way of Love, on the Camino de Santiago. And then after that, I was bitten by the writing bug. I enjoyed doing it so much that I kind of, backed into that book. I just wrote it and published it myself and went through the whole process. And then I started to go back and look at, what I should be doing as far as writing craft and all that. I guess you can say I have been bitten by the writing bug. Thank you so much for joining us today. Mahalo, Angela.
Aloha, my name is Eve Exotica. I am a local author. I write locally based thrillers. I currently have 2 books out right now. One of them is a serial killer thriller based in Puna, and I lived in Puna for 20 years. I was born on the Big Island and raised in the mainland, and I think that's where I got this vast tapestry of characters that live in my head. And so Serial Paradise is about a man misusing his lava tube on his property and kidnapping women in the Puna area and the police that have to deal with everything that comes out of it. It was my first book, and I got into it because I just think that the fact that so little is known about Hawaii's lava tubes is really fascinating. Not many of them are mapped. Many of them are known only by the landholders. And so their misuse and abuse is bound to happen. And that's how I came up with the scenario for my first book. And then I wrote my second book that has to do with a Hawaiian cryptid, or what is known as mo'o in Hawaii. And I tried to be very sensitive culturally about using the term mo'o. And you will see in the book that I just used the history and these really fascinating cryptids to kind of form a new story in Hawaii, a new cryptid story, giving Hawaii its own Bigfoot or Loch Ness monster, because I think people find cryptids absolutely fascinating. And so I decided to build on that, and that is how I came up with my second book. I am also writing my third book currently, which is based in Waimea, and it is a real estate murder mystery based on the fact that Waimea is on the doomsday map as a place that will be left when doomsday happens and the sea levels rise, and how billionaires are coming in and trying to buy up property in places like Maui and Waimea because we're on the doomsday map. And that is where I got the idea for my third book. So look out for that. And thank you so much.
Aloha, my name is Stephen Foster. I'm the author of 4 books, and 2 of them are about Hawaii. I started writing full-time 7 years ago when I retired from a corporation, and I have dedicated myself just to write stories that are inspirational and help people to understand how to get through crises. And one of my favorite books it's called Hawaii Trade Winds, and it's a collection of short stories about Hawaii, and starting with the attack on Pearl Harbor and how people struggled and learned how to deal with the difficult situations they were in. And it takes you through time. And I've written a book like Hawaii's Last Beekeeper, because I have extensive experience as a beekeeper.
My name's Zach Parker. My pen name is Zach Royer. I'm a author and publisher here on the Big Island of Hawaii. We're at the Big Island Book Fest right now, and I would love to share how I became an author. It was actually accidental. I was blogging for a website, and one of my blog posts was picked up by a publisher in California who turned it into an ebook, and that was my first book, Pyramid Rising: Planetary Acupuncture to Combat Climate Change. So I really am passionate about storytelling and helping others tell their stories. And so I've published 6 books now, and they range from children's books to guidebooks to books on pyramids and other interesting topics. And I just enjoy the writing process. For me, it's a way to channel my creativity. You know, it's not as hard as it seems to write a book, and so please believe in yourself, and I'm sure people want to hear your story as well. Aloha, and thank you for watching. Take care.